The Curly Hayes Officials Award is presented on behalf and in the name of the outstanding, great, and longtime official Curly Hayes, and it is presented to someone who has given so much of his time and a lifetime of service to the profession and has done it so well, and there's no exception to that rule this year. For anybody who's known Tommy Moore, you know that many great officials start off by actually playing the game, and he did just that. He was at Nacogdoches High School and played for Coach Gene Hale and L.H. Matthews. His father was transferred to McAllen. He played in the Valley in 1959 and 1960 at McAllen for Coach Hank Watkins and Jack Henry. He received his bachelor's degree from Stephen F. Austin and in 1966, and his wholesale distribution MBA from Stanford in 1979. He worked in the wholesale distribution industry starting in college from 1961 until his retirement in 2006. But he always loved football and always worked it very well. He started officiating in college and joined what was then the Southwest Officials Association in 1965. Tommy officiated Texas high school football for 25 years, from 1965 through 1991. He worked 3 6A state championship games. For those of us who covered the games and broadcast them, we always knew that Tommy's Greater Houston chapter was always top of the line for some of the key games, and it was always a pleasure knowing that he and his crew were working some of those very big games. He also worked the BCS National Championship game in 1989 and joined the National Football League in 1992 and worked 25 seasons, including the Super Bowl in 2011. He says that Texas high school football is the greatest game in the world, and certainly he can tell you more about it. He and his wife Jane have been married for 51 years. They have one daughter, Caroline Jane Moore Hobson of Conroe, and one son, Jeffrey Thomas Moore, and his wife, Cherry of Spring. And they also have a granddaughter, Emma Jane Hobson of Conroe, will be attending the University of Texas this fall. Please welcome the Curly Hayes Officials Award winner, Tommy Moore.
Thank you, Craig. Everything good that's ever happened to me has been by the grace of God and Texas high school football. I knew Curly Hayes from back in the old Southwest Conference days, a big old left-handed guy from Abilene who really knew how to run a football game. And it's an honor to receive an award that bears his name. Also knew all of the past receivers of this award, all great men and great football officials, and again, it's an honor to be associated with that group. You don't win an award of any kind without the help and support of your friends and your family, and in this case, your fellow officials. And I'm proud to have a table of my fellow officials sitting here with me today, and I appreciate them coming. You guys raise your hand, let them know where you are, right there. Let me tell you something, there's about 30 state championship rings sitting at that table. As secretary of the Houston football chapter, I get the opportunity to work with all the great coaches in the Houston area during the season and with all the great coaches around the state during the playoffs. And I appreciate those friendships and relationships over the years. I could tell you a lot of funny football stories, but I want to tell you about my high school football coach. I graduated from college with a degree in business. Then I went out to Stanford to their MBA program, and we had some of the finest business minds in the country were our professors. One day I'm sitting there in class, and he's talking about execution and planning and strategy and goals. I said, you know, that's the same thing my high school football coach taught us. We had goals: block a punt, run back a kickoff for a touchdown. These goals were written on the wall in the dressing room. And after the game, when we made one of those, coach would get up there and he would check it off and we would all cheer. And I learned from my high school football coach that when I was in business and we involved our people, we had goals, we worked together to get them. When we'd reach them, we'd all cheered, and that was good for business too. When I was in high school, we got beat in the playoffs. We were undefeated. It was a heartbreaking last play, 4th down, 4th quarter, goal line stand loss. And that was over 50 years ago, and it still hurts today. I'm sure that there's many of you sitting here right now that know the kind of loss I'm talking about. And after the game, we cried. And my high school football coach cried with us. Then on Monday, we went over to the field house to clean out our lockers. And a teammate of mine said something I've remembered all my life. He said, "This is the only day I ever wanted to practice." And all year, our high school football coach told us, you got 1 year to play high school football, maybe 2, maybe 3 if you're really good. And the older you get in life, the greater appreciation and importance you're going to have for those 1, 2, 3 years in your life that you played Texas high school football. And at 17, we finally realized what he was talking about. And it was too late. It was gone. But from my high school coach, I've remembered that, and I've tried all my life to never miss an opportunity to tell somebody you love them, shake a hand, give somebody a hug, call somebody on the phone, work every game, every play, every day the best that you could. In the Bible, it says that what you can see is only here for a little while. What you can't see is forever. If you drive by that stadium on Friday night, you're going to see the lights and hear the band and the teams and the players and the coaches and the pep squad and the cheerleaders. I mean, it's Friday night lights in Texas, and it's a sight to see. But it's only there for a little while, 3 or 4 hours, and it's gone. But if you drive by there at midnight, it's dark, it's quiet, and there's nothing to see. But what you can't see is the life lessons that these young men that played Texas high school football learned from their high school coaches. You can't see the wind, but you can see its effects. And you will see the effect of playing high school football on these young men all their life. High school football is the greatest game in the world, and the best high school football is played, coached, and officiated in Texas. God bless Texas. God bless Texas high school football, and God bless Texas high school football coaches. Thank you very much.
After that, who's ready to put on pads and hit somebody? Wow.